Explanation of chapter number 12, friction as a force. Okay. Roll down a ball on the floor. Watch it for some time. You will see that it comes to a halt after moving a certain distance. Now the question is why it comes to a halt after moving certain distance. Another one. Your mother tells you not to run over a wet floor as there are chances of slipping. You have to continue pedal your bicycle to keep it in motion. Have you ever wondered what might be the cause of all this? A force that is exerted at the point of contact of one object with another object is called a contact force. So, the force between the road and the cycle, the wheels of the cycle is an example of contact force. All the above contact forces are examples of force of friction. Now let us see what is this friction. Friction comes into play whenever any two objects are in contact with each other and one object moves over the surface of other object. So, friction takes place when any two objects are in contact with each other and one object moves over the surface of other object. Okay. For example, when a boy pushes the box kept on the floor, he experiences an opposing force since the surface of the box and the floor are in contact. So, whenever there will be a contact force, there will be friction also. Okay. This force acts in a direction opposite to that of the motion of the box. So, some force is there which will not allow the boy to move the box forward. Some force will be there which will pull. So, that force is known as the frictional force and it acts always opposite to the direction of the motion. If this is the direction of the motion, frictional force will act always opposite to the direction of the motion, means in the opposite direction. Smooth surfaces such as ice and glass have less friction. The rougher the surface, the more the friction is produced. So this is very important. If the surface is very rough, then there will be more friction. For example, gravel, road, rug and towel. If there is too much friction, nothing would be able to move. So if there is too much friction, nothing will be able to move forward or backward, whatever. Now, what is a rug? It is the floor cover consisting of a piece of thick, heavy fabric. Now, friction comes into play whenever there is motion. Some examples from our day-to-day life are as follows. A ball when kicked comes to rest on its own on a ground. This is due to friction. Friction between what? Yes, between the ball and the ground. So, after moving certain distance, it comes to rest. This is because of friction. You can draw and color because of the friction between the crayon and the paper. If there is no friction, then you will not be able to draw. The force of friction between the blackboard and chalk helps your teacher to write on the blackboard. So, it is due to the force of friction a teacher can write on the blackboard. What helps your teacher write on the whiteboard? A matchstick gets lighted due to friction between the matchbox and the matchstick. Now see the action time 1. Find out what happens when you pull the box. So take an empty shoebox, fill it with stones, put the box on the table, take a big rubber band and try to pull it. What will happen when you pull the box with the rubber band? How long do you think the rubber will have to be stretched before the box moves? This you will do and you will see and you will measure it. Observation, measure with a scale how long was the band stretched in order to move the box. Now place some pencils under the box, try moving the box. You will see that what do you think will happen? It will be easier to move the object if there are some pencils, because there will be less friction. Next, friction useful or harmful. Friction can be both a friend and a foe. So there are certain advantages and disadvantages of friction. So what are the uses or advantages? Now see, a buffalo will not be able to pull a cart until friction secures the buffalo's foot to the road. Until there is a contact force between the road and the buffalo, and until there is friction, buffalo will not be able to move the cart if the surface is very smooth. Friction helps in applying brakes of the vehicles. Another use of friction. Next, a carpenter won't be able to fix nails to make furniture without friction. It is not possible for a carpenter to fix nails without the friction. Friction helps in holding the nail to the wood or wall. This is the reason for that. It helps in holding the nail to the wood or wall. If the surface is very slippery, then the carpenter will not be able to fix the nails to the wood or wall. Football players have studs on shoes. This prevents them from slipping. The friction between the floor and our feet prevents us from slipping on the floor. So these are the uses of the friction. And now see what are the difficulties caused by friction. Friction can cause noise in machines. If there is no lubrication, then the machine will make more noise. To reduce noise, that is why lubricants such as oil and grease are used. Friction can produce heat. If there is more noise, there is more heat also in various parts of the machines. To move at a very high speed, vehicles should be streamlined body. This reduces the friction with air and the amount of fuel the vehicle uses. That is why aeroplane and ships are streamlined body. So another way to reduce friction is to make the vehicle or some like aeroplane and ships in a streamlined manner, or it will take means if the body is shaped in streamlined manner, there will be less friction. Friction causes wear and tear. When two objects rub together, because of friction, heat is produced. The soles of our shoes wear out due to friction. It is due to friction the soles of our shoes wear out. Between the friction which is between the shoe and the ground. Okay. Why do tires of vehicles wear out? You must have observed that while playing carom, we sprinkle powder on the board. This reduces the friction between the wooden coin tokens and the board because the surface becomes slippery. That is why. And why do tires of vehicles wear out? It is also due to friction between the ground and the tire. Why do you think we slip on a banana peel? Because the surface of the peel and our leg, means the peel is so slippery and there is very less friction. That is why we fall down. So this you will do. Give one example other than from the textbook, from day-to-day life, where friction is useful and harmful. How to reduce friction? It is good to reduce friction between surfaces. This makes movement easier and reduces wear and tear. What are the ways to reduce friction then? We have to make the surface smooth. So rough surfaces have more friction than smooth surfaces. That is why we apply oil in the door hinges to make it smooth, which reduces the friction. We sprinkle powder on the carom board so that the striker and the coins can move easily, because if we sprinkle powder there will be less friction. Why do swimmers wear swimsuits? Because there will be less friction, that is why. And the and it is streamlined also, the object is streamlined also. Lubrication, this makes the surface smooth, and another way to reduce friction is to make the surface streamlined. So that is there in the chapter. Read the chapter thoroughly for your March monthly test. Thank you. Have a nice day.